Hello, my name is Cindy Bennett, and today I am going to share with you some breaking news from Raymond, New Hampshire. That's right, that's the town that I live in. Now, 2020 really taught me a lot of things, and one of the things that I learned was that I am not informed enough about what is going on in my community. So I started going to selectmen meetings, planning board meetings, school board meetings, and etc. I am getting to know my town. I realize I don't even know how this whole thing works. And we pay taxes regularly, and yet we don't even really know what's happening with the money. So that's what I've been learning. Breaking news for our town right now is that we are in a situation where the citizens do not know what is going on with this piece of property on Exit 4. I'm going to be talking today about Exit 4. Exit 4 off of Route 101. Raymond is an amazing community, and there were many times when I was a child that I drove through Raymond. I didn't even hardly know what Raymond was. I didn't know anyone who lived there. But I have now lived in this town for over 20 years. And I love this town. It's a great rural community, but we also have some excellent stores. We have our own grocery store. We have gas stations, pizza places. We have a great little cozy corner plaza. We actually have a restaurant now called the Tuckaway Tavern, which has been on TV. It's been in that show called Guy's Grocery Games, and the guy who is the cook in that restaurant is amazing. We get people from all around coming to this restaurant. But for the most part, it's a rural community, and we do have 3 exits on our town. We have Exit 3 that goes to the main part of our town. We have Exit 4, which goes to a very rural area, but we do have our police station and fire station on that exit. We also have the schools not far from there. Then you go up to Exit 5, which is this end I live on, which is close to the highway. You can get right onto 101, and you can shoot down to 101 and head to 93. 93 goes Manchester down to Massachusetts. It's a great throughway for people going to the main towns in the southern New Hampshire. So what we have going on in Exit 4 is we have a truck stop going in called the Mega X. This is a very large truck stop, and they are looking at making this a very big deal. Right now, they have a lot of the area cleared. They've cut down all of the trees on the exit, and they're looking to put in a very large truck stop. And what happened in our town, somewhere along the way, somebody gave the permission for this truck stop. I was not involved in any of those decisions. I had no idea. But I was involved with the decision I was there in the audience when the selectmen of our town voted to cease and desist the project for the Mega X. And it was an amazing night. We had a woman named Trisha, and I'm going to show you the video of her presentation to the selectmen. And she gave a presentation about the importance of protecting this area because it is the wellhead protection area. I didn't even really know this. I've lived in this town all these years. It was a rural area. There were lots of trees there. I didn't really know that much about it. Exit 3 is right off the highway. I learned that when they did put that highway in there, they did take some property by eminent domain, and they put a highway next to this area. But it was voted in previous years, as you'll see in Trisha's presentation, that it is a wellhead protection area, and the people in the town voted to keep it if you're going to develop the area, it has to be something that cannot contaminate the water that goes through that area. Watch as Tricia makes this presentation. Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna open up the public comment, for 15 minutes, 3 minutes apiece. Try to keep it at 3 minutes, please. And, do we have any hands out there? There's one.
Howdy, you guys. Tricia Briggio, citizen. Give you this. You can't read it all now, it's too much information, but
Thank you.
too much for one moment, but sorry, Paul. Get you guys this. This. And this. So the information that I'm giving you right now, I will put up on Raymond Wright's page, and if the town of Raymond wants to put this up for the residents to see, if they want to say where they want this information. The information that I have just given to the board is in relationship to the wellhead protection program of the town of Raymond. There's been some discussion between boards, there's been some discussion between the selectmen, the planning board, and the people of the town. If you look, and I know you can't do this right now, but the dates start in 1992. This is over 30 years that this has been addressed by the town. The town has had concerns about the water and different ways to protect it. You have an article, the 2011. This is the annual report. It shows the vote. This is being brought up because of meetings we're having in different boards, different discussions about the town's water. As a weird coincidence, I watched a movie called Dark Waters this week. I think all of you should take a look at it. And it's about PFOAs. Some people here may know what some of the chemicals are. Knowing now that the town is discussing putting something that is not allowed on a wellhead and an aquifer, I think as citizens, we need to be part of the meetings. We need to be included in the discussions. This isn't just a matter of individual private rights. This is our community and also our neighboring communities that we need to be paying attention to what we're doing with water sources. We have a responsibility. So one of the things people say is that, you know, things are done deals, or it's already happened, or why didn't anybody, you haven't paid any attention. I think a lot of people in town do try to pay attention, but I think a lot of people in town try to respect the fact that we do not every day get in each other's business. So they take us as boards to be the people who are going to keep them, and I'm going to use the word safe. They're hoping to rely on us. The knowledge that should be being passed back and forth between the boards isn't all being passed back and forth. And also, the ability to get the information is not there. I started beating this drum last year, and I said transparency. And I'm sorry for using the word transparency, because it isn't transparency. What I want is the ability to get the information and not be told it doesn't exist, not to have to look for 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, a full-time job to get a piece of information. The information is unattainable in some situations. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Yeah. The other problem is that we chose, in infinite wisdom, to remove certain department people, to remove or not document and carry on some of our information. It doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if it's in some dark corner, but we need to get the information. It needs to be transcribed. It needs to be able to be electronically digitized so we can see it, because some of the information seems to be gone. We have to rely now on people who have been around the board for 10 years, 20 years. That is not the way to keep information. We can't have this in oral history. We need the documentation. And having people having to go look through emails or the library dusting off shelves is not helping us. So I'm sitting here as a citizen, but I think the town, this board, planning board, zoning board, we all need to talk about this. This is important. We cannot fix the water supply once we wreck it.
I want to take a moment right now and thank Tricia so much for sharing this information. I don't think I could have done what she did. She did research. She is very articulate. She presented the issue perfectly. And I was just amazed with her presentation. I was also amazed with the selectman, Lee Weldy, who was able to present as a citizen, and then he was able to help vote to cease and desist the project that night. Watch as Lee shares this information.
Okay, I'd asked if I could speak during this. I think Trish touched on a couple of things that I was going to bring up tonight. We did have our CIP, which we voted on to approve. In the public comments, Tricia brought up stuff about the development that we're looking at Exit 4. And in the 2011 annual report, the zoning amendments, people voted 564 to 497 to prohibit certain uses on that property. And then if you go into the zoning and planning on prohibited uses, the following uses are prohibited in the groundwater conservation district, which this is located in. Number 7 says the sitting or operation of a petroleum bulk plant or terminal, the sitting or operation of gasoline stations.
Revised by law. Okay.
But I'm asking the question, and I can go out there and sit as a citizen if you want.
I think you should.
You won't get
Okay,
the
I will. Okay. Well, then I can't make my motion. But I'll recommend it.
Revised by-
I gotta recuse myself anyways.
So, she's right, there's a lot of stuff out there, that green book, online. And my motion tonight was going to be, with the wording of the 2011 warrant article, I'd like to make a motion to order a cease order on any further development on the Mega X project. You read this, you follow where our wells are, you follow where our water is, and you follow what goes downstream. Not only are we liable, but we're liable if we pollute other people's wells and water systems that come off of that water line. So I would recommend that the board seeks either further counsel or acts accordingly.
I'd like to make a motion that we do the cease that you just brought up from the 2011 vote.
I'll second it.
To do what?
I recuse
Could you
myself.
repeat your motion, please?
What Lee just said.
You want to read what I wrote? Now I'm back to the selectmen, right?
Well, here, I'll let you read it then, since you
Okay.
wrote it.
With the wording of the 2011 warrant, I'd like to make a motion to order a cease order on any further development on the Mega X project.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All opposed?
I'm abstaining due to
And
the
I
legal
am,
counsel's
I'm recusing myself.
recommendation.
No, I
3-1.
No, sorry, who's doing what now?
3-0. One abstain,
Okay, one abstain, okay.
and I recused.
So our code enforcement officer, if I'm correct, will have to go down and issue a cease order based on the vote from the select board.
He's making comments.
All right.
I'll get us back in trouble.
What's that?
Thank you. People of Raymond, thank you.
Too bad we can't save the trees.
Well,
Hey, save the water, that's all that matters.
All right.
As you can hear at the end of this video, when Lee did his presentation and they took the vote, the people in the audience were clapping. We had been there for quite a while that night, and I had no idea what was going to be presented that night. I had no idea. I didn't even know about the wellhead protection area, but when the presentation was brought out, I was like, of course, we need to protect this area. And I thought it was very brave of these selectmen to go ahead and say cease and desist. But when you know that your water is on the line, it's not bravery, it's just common sense. Now we're going to fast forward to June 12th, 2022. This was just 2 days ago. In our town, we have now got 2 different selectmen. We voted on March 8th, and we have 2 new selectmen that came on board. And so they were presented with the idea that we would overturn the decision to cease and desist. And I'm going to show you the video of these new selectmen voting to rescind the vote that the other selectmen presented to us.
We started to rescind the vote, but I didn't know the date or the day or the time or whenever it was done. So I didn't have it to put in my motion. So we tabled it until I had that. Now Scott's got it, so we can do it. So we need a motion to rescind the cease order on Mega X on 11/29 of 21 to rescind that vote.
As a point of not order but
I got it.
interest,
Yep,
legal advised that you didn't have to
correct.
rescind that.
Yep.
Just so you know.
Yep.
I didn't know if everyone knew that.
I did not know, so that's good to know.
She did say that, but she did also recommend that we did. So you're making that a motion?
I'll make the motion to rescind.
Yep, from 11/29,
Oh, yeah.
21.
Cease it.
Got a second on that?
Second.
Carlos, all in favor? 1, 2, 3. I recuse myself. Scott?
I recuse myself.
Scott was recused. So it's 3, 2 recused. 3 in favor of rescinding. 2 recusals. Yep, thanks, Scott.
Mega X,
Yep,
rescind a cease order on 11/29/21 on Board of Selectmen, Mega X was
As you can tell in this video, there were no clapping spectators. There was no clapping. I was in the audience when these selectmen, there were 2 that recused themselves and 3 that voted to overturn or rescind the vote to cease and desist. As you can tell in this video, there were no facts given. The town manager did say that legal said we didn't really have to take this vote. I don't really understand why. There was also no public comment. At the time of the rescinding of the previous vote for this Mega X project, the people were not given a chance to ask any questions, and as you can tell, there were no facts given. My question right now is, what changed? With Tricia giving this information about the wellhead protection area, what changed? My second question is to the new selectman in Raymond. Did you read the information that Tricia presented way back in November? Did you read that? Did you have any idea why they did the cease and desist? It wasn't just because we don't want progress. It wasn't because we don't want 1 million trucks going through our town. It wasn't because any other reason other than it's our water. Our water is the highest priority for humanity. We need water. We need clean water. In Raymond, we also have a problem with our wells. Our town water is being given to our town And they said that our wells are the oldest wells possibly in the entire state. One of our wells is over 130 years old. So what if we spend all of the thousands and thousands of dollars to build new wells and then our water is contaminated? Then we're going to need to buy more filters and everything else. What's going to happen to our water in Raymond? Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you will respond to this video. I hope that if you live in Raymond, that you will write to the selectmen and you will make some noise in Raymond. This is our water. This is our future. Please do not overlook this, and please do not be silent, because if we're silent now, we're going to have problems later. Thank you for watching this video. Reach out to me if you have any other questions, and if I can't answer them, we can at least talk about it. I hope you have a great day, and let's protect our water. Let's protect our future.